Hello and welcome to the Korean K-drama podcast, where we talk about our favorite K-drama shows and episodes, and dive into a little bit about the background and go through the show, go through these shows. And I hope you enjoy this podcast. I am your host. My name's Granite A. Miller. Just a little background about me. I am. I am in my 60s. I've been really enjoying Korean dramas since my wife introduced me to them. And I actually have a background in Japanese. I'm fluent in it. I was an exchange student. I went to university there. So I do speak, but that doesn't help me though with the Korean drama. I can read some of the Chinese characters, but and then there's some words that are kind of familiar. Like I can hear the root of some of the words and kind of figure that. But anyway, the anyway, the reason we're going to do this podcast about Korean drama, or K drama as it's called, is because they are just so good. I mean, most of them, the ones I like, are the rom-com, the romantic comedies that they have that come out. But really, the Koreans since the 70s have been producing these things, and they've gotten really, really good. I mean, the writing, the film, the filmography, the cinematography, whatever, um, it's just so good. I mean, the standard, they're just so, everything is wonderful about them, and the stories are just so good. I really enjoy, simple romantic comedy stories. And so uh, Netflix has picked them up. So if you have Netflix, you'll just type in Korean drama, or the name of this show, and then it'll start to feed more and more to you. Like I said, we're going to start off today with the first drama. This is not the first one I've saw, but I'm going to start off with this because I think this one has been seen by a lot of viewers, and so I'm going to start off. It's called Crash Landing on You. That's the English. It was written by Park Ji-hoon and directed by Lee Jong-kyo, and uh, it stars Hyun Bin and Sun Yi-jin, and we're gonna go talk about them a little bit more as actors and actresses. But this is a show. It's about just a real quick synopsis because I do need to make a comment. It is about a South Korean heiress who has an accident paragliding and lands in North Korea across the border. Now, she's going to be in North Korea for like 6 months. Now, for some of us, I think in the West, especially in the United States, you're going to hear North Korea and you're going to go, boogeyman, and you get all worried about it. But this is a story about people. There's nothing about government or politics or any of that garbage. It's about people, and you don't understand. I think for the West, we've been fed such a line about how bad everything is in the North that it's hard to really to visualize that there are people living there. Actually people who work day to day and have normal lives. And that's why I really like this drama, was because it showed these people just living their lives, and you don't need any of that other nonsense going about it. But just for reference, North Korea is a authoritarian regime, right? It's a dictatorship um, led by the Kim family. And, I uh, did, okay, so I understand a bit about why North Korea is the way it is because I know Korean history. If you know Korean history, it makes sense. Doesn't mean it's right. It just makes you can understand better why they are what they are. And then, as part of me is like, okay, I understand that, right? I did my thesis was on Japanese history, but it was from the 600 A.D. period, roughly, when the Tang dynasty in China was taking over the Korean peninsula, and how different technologies, agriculture, um, for one, because the Japanese tried to help, they lost. A lot of Koreans went as refugees over to Japan, and brought with them different. It was a huge technology transfer, agriculture, religion, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's what I did my thesis on. And so I really did a lot of research into the Korean history at the time, and I understand, like why the North is like it is. But um, when you watch this show, the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because don't worry, this is just a good feel good show, and you're going to really get some laughs, I think, from it, as well as it being a good romantic comedy. So the plot is like this: there's an heiress. Okay, her name is Yun Serdi. Okay, Sadie, and she is part of a pretty dysfunctional family. Her family is what's known as a these are um, there are different words in Korean, in Japanese, but it's like a family that owns like a multiple businesses, and they're like a real powerful family. And but she was born. Her father had an affair, and so she was the product of that affair. So she was never she had two older half brothers, and she was never really accepted in the family. Her mom didn't really accept her. I mean, I'm not sorry, the real mom didn't. Not no no. Her bio The biological mom was out of the picture. The mom of the other two brothers never accepted her in the family, and so she went off and she became successful herself. She had her own company, and she just distanced herself from them. And so anyway, she was for a commercial shoot. She was out, or something along those lines. She was out paragliding, and a big Wizard of Oz type of tornado came and whipped her up into the atmosphere, and then she came down on the other side of the Korean border, and then there was no detection because um, the electric went out because of this tornado. So there she is. She finds out she's in North Korea, and she meets for the first time uh, what will be her boyfriend, um, who is a captain of the guard, border patrol guard, and they go out on these border patrols for like 6 months, and he's out there with his team, and he runs into her, and because the electric's down, he tells her, um, to get out, make a left, and you'll see that the gate's down. You go right, and you're back in South Korea. Well, she decides to go right. So instead of getting out, she goes deeper in, and she actually ends up in the town of the um, of where most of these patrols stay, and it was just a little village in the north. So she's stuck. Okay, and so she starts to form a relationship with this captain, and over time, at first he's very cold. But they start to bond over time, and although trying to get her out through different means, and they meet other people there in the north, a lot of different funny characters, and um, the one that I enjoyed the most was that she was the daughter. Okay, the captain was engaged, all right, and his fiancee was the daughter of a department store owner, who was very, well, in her own mind, was sophisticated, and they make so much fun of it. It's really good. How when you think you're doing something great, like oh, this hat makes me look so handsome, right? Everybody else is laughing at you for wearing it. There's a story behind this hat, but not for today. So anyway, uh, there's like love triangle develops, and the nice thing about the captain is that they keep the ensemble, like the other guards, the sergeant and the corporal and the others they're all like they're not complicit, but they're all involved somehow with Sadie, and they can't like just turn her into the government. So the sergeant saw her, like she went right. Okay, so the captain met her first, told her to go left. She went right. So she's wandering around, and the sergeant saw her. But the sergeant, instead of shooting her because she was running away, he pulls up and doesn't shoot her, for whatever reason. And, and this guy made me funny. He's like the corporal or something. He's up in the watchtower, but he watches Korean dramas all the time. So he gets bootlegged South Korean dramas, and he's just watching. So he's up there watching it on his computer, and she runs by. So he was complicit. And then the private, The last, like, there are four in this group, um, and and he was in the field, but he was on the ground reading a letter from his mom when she runs by. So, so they all screwed up, and that's why when she got to the village, and somehow when she was in the village, the captain came in at the same time, saw her, and then scooted her over to his house real quick so nobody could see her. Um, and then, of course, all the other his other platoon comes in with the sergeant who couldn't shoot her, the corporal who was watching South Korean dramas, and then the private who was just reading his mom's letter. They all got like, oh no, we can't we can't turn her in because we'll all get in trouble for, for not doing our duty. So, and that's how it starts, and that's how she's able to kind of work her way in, and it's just so much fun. How you start with seeing, like, you see like the electric goes out right at night, and like they use gas stoves, and they store things. It's like when I was watching it, to me it reminded me of my youth, like the things that we did when I was young, and uh, so like the things we went through, like um, and so uh, it was kind of cool to see it. It was much more like, again, we're up in the north. It was like learning how to live without all of the comforts and electronic help that we get. And so, like when she had to take a shower, she had to heat up the water, pour it in the tub. The little trick they had was the bath screen was like plastic, and then they covered the top with the plastic, and so like all the hot air, it came in like a sauna. So she went in, she goes, "Oh, this is really cool." Uh, but anyway, um, again, oh, there. By the way, sorry guys, I should have said this at the beginning. Oh, sorry. Probably like there's no spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything, so please don't worry about that. Just going to give you an overview. So of course now, so we have a love triangle with the captain's fiance, and but then there's a bad guy. Okay, and this bad guy, I like him. Uh, he was a good bad guy. Uh, really, whew, uh, he was a so he was he yeah he was like, hold on a second. Well, he was like a level above the captain. He was like a level above. I think he was a colonel or assistant or lieutenant colonel or something like that. But he was above him. But this guy, the bad guy, was doing illegal. He was trafficking illegal things. So, and he was trying to protect his interests, and he realized that this girl, the South Korean girl, could cause problems. So anyway, they just like I said, I'm gonna keep it in North Korea. I won't go out of there, but it's just like they get through. They have a lot of adventures. There's a lot of close calls, and you get to really see a lot of the daily life of the people, and then the villagers are hilarious, just hilarious. Um, you have the village chief, I guess, and she's gosh, she ends up always drinking too much and getting too loud. Um, yeah, and then you had the one who's the queen of the town, right? Or the self-appointed queen. Who her husband was the colonel. So yeah, the bad guy was the lieutenant colonel. And then you had the colonel who kind of like turned a blind eye to everything. But that anyway, that's why she was the queen bee. And that was anyway. It's just a fun romantic comedy. I hope you this will get you motivated to watch it. I'll tell you what, it's worth it. Watch it when you do. You can use Korean, and they'll have English subtitles. I That's what I usually do. I usually listen to it in Korean. I don't listen to it in English, so but I'm sure that's fine if you do. I mean, I just never did. Um, but if you will come to enjoy it, and you'll understand why these are so much fun. So, all right, if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more, I'll do more. I'm thinking about doing the next podcast. I'll probably do on Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. So, oh, and one last thing for fun. Um, the actor and the actress, the captain and Sadie, they in real life they actually got married after the show. So there's no spoiler there because but they got actually they literally got married for real after the show. So I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye.